souls, young souls, and all my damn souls in between. Welcome back to another week of Old Soul in the Young World with your host, Jesse Elliott. Hey, guys, today it is poppin'. It's lit in the studio. We have a very special guest. This week we have a motivated cannabis entrepreneur, a business owner, an activist of human rights and civil rights, and the CEO and founder of Mass Green Retail in Lynn, Massachusetts. Welcome to the show, Jordan Avery. What's poppin'?
What's happening?
What's going
Thanks
on?
for having us. It's really, we're so excited to be here. And, let's get this popping.
Let's get this popping. We're going to get our glasses filled, guys. You know, that's how we start our mornings.
Love it. All right.
You know, guys, and Jordan has been doing a lot for the community, not only the cannabis community, but just the community in general, for Lynn and the surrounding areas of the North Shore. Jordan, can you let the people know kind of who you are, where you come from, and what you're into?
Yeah, absolutely. My name's Jordan Avery, born and raised in the great city of Lynn. Very actively involved. Everybody calls it Sin City, but Lynn is a great community, a great city with a lot of great talent, a lot of great people, it's an honor to be given the privilege to open up, the dispensary in town, and we're really, really excited. But besides that, a lot of my own community engagement stuff. I'm on the Lynn Human Rights Commission. I was one of the founding commissioners. We sit on that. Involved with a lot of other, community things. Salvation Army. Running the food pantry during the COVID, which was amazing. We were serving 600 families a day.
Oh my gosh.
During the hype of COVID. I run their disaster services program as well as a volunteer. So I know that you were texting me 2 days ago before showtime, and I was like, "Hey, I'm at a fire."
Right. I was like, "Wait, is Jordan a firefighter now too? Is there something I don't know?" And he was like, "Oh no, I work for the Salvation." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. So all my boys and family. It's funny, 2, 3 in the morning. They're like, "Wait a second, where are you going now?" I'm like, "Gotta go to a fire."
So you could be anywhere and you get a call and you're like, "I gotta go."
Yeah, I don't have to. It's volunteer.
Okay, got
but,
you.
I make it a point to go.
Yeah.
Especially to those that lose their houses at 2, 3, 4 in the morning.
Right.
They have nothing on besides a shirt and T-shirt, and be able to get there and give them a coat or blanket and a little emotional support. It goes a long way for those families. So
definitely.
I really enjoy doing that. I've been doing that since high school, and I'll do it to the day I see my next life.
Hey.
And
I just want to shout you out because it's very rare to find young men around the community who want to be involved and choose to be involved without a reward or getting something back, like volunteer work. What within yourself, as a young man, you said from high school that you've been doing this. Why did you want to make a difference and get involved in civil rights and human rights and helping out the people around you? What actually inspires that within you?
Yeah, I think, growing up in Lynn, on Chatham and Essex Street, which was the east side of the city, and then later on moving to the west side, where I still reside. I can actually see the dispensary that's being built across the river out in my backyard, which is pretty lit.
That's dope.
Yeah. So,
yes.
But what really inspired me, I guess, was just the hate on the community. It was always like I said, Lynn, city of sin.
Yeah.
Never go out the way you came in.
Yeah.
I wanted to change that and let people know that Lynn is great. There is a lot of great talent. There is a lot of great people in the community.
Right.
And anything I can do to help my community and better it and make it a safer place is what I'm all about. I just, from a young age, I was very involved, in tune with politics, in tune with the local authorities and city councilors and, volunteering at the homeless shelter, at the soup kitchen. So kind of really getting involved and meeting those folks really has kept it going. And it started like a wave where now I have, some of my friends that now are starting to do it. And we're recruiting more and more people every day to give back and help. Which is, I slowly helping and developing, changing our city, which I'm most excited for.
That's
yeah, and more recently, I was just appointed as well by the mayor's office to sit on the Lynn Vision a steering committee. So it's a 4-year plan to revitalize the city with the vision and a lot of cool development coming in, retail, establishments, and some residential luxury, and also affordable, which is very important in a community like Lynn.
Definitely. And, just to touch base on what you just said, actually back in the day, so when I was graduating college and after college, it was probably like right when I finished, about a year and a half, I worked for the Lynn Daily Item. Are you familiar with that newspaper?
Very familiar, yeah.
Yeah, so it's now like, I think, Essex Media Group.
It is.
On Monroe Street. And when I worked there, which is probably now like, 6-7 years ago, so it's been, a while. But when I was there, they were already in the talks of how everything is changing in Lynn and how Lynn has this reputation. And now they're trying to show people we can move people into the city. We can show them it's a safe place. We can decorate the walls with art. We can put up more lights. We can make it something that people want to come see. We're 20 minutes from Boston. Do you know what I'm saying? It's right on the North Shore. The amount of revenue that can come to the city through dispensaries and through art and through the community, opening the space and showing people we can do this together. Like it's a movement. It takes many people. It takes a village. To change the culture, because that's really what you're doing and what the group is doing that you're with, and even like beyond walls. There's so many groups who are trying to show people Lynn, city of sin, quote unquote, is not that anymore. Like that is not where we're at. So just shout out to you and your team and everyone involved in opening, Mass Green Retail, because you guys are actually in the midst of making history and making change in the city.
There's so many great organizations and nonprofits too that that help out. You brought up Beyond Walls. Al Wilson. He does a great thing every year. The morals are beautiful. There's so many others. Bridging the Gap. Preventing the cycle.
Right.
And Junior.
Preventing the cycle. Like I love that. Yeah. That's what it is.
And that's what needs to happen.
That's what needs to happen.
And it needs to continue to happen.
Exactly.
And it's happening. Not as fast as I think most would like to see,
right.
But I can say that there's a lot of good things in store, and currently, the leadership in the community are getting along and working together to better the community. So I'm excited, I'm pumped up, and I'm happy to be also being able to open a dispensary in the city that I grew up in, born and raised, still live there, and literally I can walk from my place to the dispensary and be there within 10-15 minutes. So when you talk about community, this is community, and it's going to be a community dispensary, locally owned, with some really great product, from everywhere, and come check us out. It's going to be some fire.
Yes.
I mean, it's going to be dope.
It is.
We have a beautiful space. It sits right on the water. So
we might give you guys a sneak peek. I don't want to, ruin anything, but we might give y'all a sneak peek. So stay tuned.
Yeah. The sneak peek's going to happen. It's going to happen. We're going to show you up some of our interior design plans, which is it's going to be dope. And we're going to have a lot of local art in our place because, again, we believe in local artists and it's all about being a local-owned business.
Yeah. And, you yourself as being in the cannabis industry or being a cannabis user or whatever it may be, from, your youth to when you got introduced to, the cannabis community to now in 2022, how do you feel as, a business owner from your entrepreneur perspective that things have changed where, back in the day, how it was looked at to be using cannabis or anything involved with cannabis to now it being a business where you get a license, where you go through legalization, where you can go through court, where you have to go through all of these specific legal things? Like, what do you feel that change has made on the community of how we have...
Sure. Yeah. I must first say though, when I was in high school and middle school, I was the kid that was not smoking pot. Right?
Okay. I wasn't sure. I can't tell.
I was
You're
the kid.
Clean cut.
I wasn't smoking pot. I always wanted to make a change and be in law enforcement.
Okay.
So I kind of always had that, mentality of wanting to be a police officer. Or working in security and armed and all that kind of stuff, which I did do. And then I also went to the Reserve Police Academy, graduated from there, and did that for a little bit. how I fell into like cannabis was there was an opportunity that came up with a company which was the first one to open up in Lynn that I was very involved in, got to really being one of the top roles with them, getting them licensed in our community, getting them open and running the operation, which was one of the first. It was the first medical in Lynn, and then the first adult use as well.
Wow!
So that was huge.
That's huge.
That was an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Really to get that open, and in Lynn, where a lot of people never thought that would be. And it was a struggle too, it was, we're talking 7 years ago, when cannabis still was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Cannabis, wait, people are going to be hanging out front.
Right.
Oh, there's going to be potheads, people hanging around, fights.
Like, we're going to attract criminals. By opening a dispensary, you're bringing criminal activity into the community. That's not what it is.
So
that's the perception.
And the big part of my responsibility during the licensing stage and welcoming the group to Lynn to be able to have that license and get that license was to really talk about the safety components and the security and what was going involved in that with my background as working in law enforcement, right? So that switched up and changed, and then dealing with our medical patients at first and listening to their stories, it was so amazing, and I got to really love and respect cannabis a lot. It's a science, it's so deep down how it helps people, and I still didn't smoke when I was doing medical for 2 years, and then as soon as I hit adult use, I felt like I had enough, education and working and seeing it grow and growing it and understanding it, and it's an amazing thing. And for those that are, still hating on it, that's up to them. Not everybody has to smoke, but all I ask is don't hate, because it's a great thing, and a lot of people are using it for a lot of great things.
That's fire.
It's so true. It's 100% facts. And I think that's the problem, that people don't do their research, that they judge something before they look into it. And it's like, there's different people. Like, I appreciate you saying your story of how you got into cannabis, because that's rare. You know what I'm saying? Like, I picked it up earlier in life. You did your research, you made yourself comfortable, you made sure you knew what was going on, which is amazing. There's all different ways to go about it. It's whatever works for you. And I think that's important for the people to know, anyone listening in, cannabis is not a drug anymore. Like, I hate even saying that word when I talk about cannabis, because that's what we're trying to revolutionize, and that's what we're trying to change. It is now a medicine. So once you accept it as a medicine and you research it and look into it as a medicine, then we can all start moving forward.
Can I get the little, can we change that?
It's lit. So I say A and Jordan says A, so you guys are going to get like a lot of A's today. Hey! You already know. That was not planned. That was not planned. Next time we're going to have t-shirts. Like, it's going to be a whole thing.
You already know. Strain A.
Yo, can you make that a strain when you open the store? And like,
we're going to have to make an exclusive.
COO Jesse on that. Like,
I love it.
Ellie, also
love it.
Anyways, but I want to get into mass green retail a little bit more. Shout out, you guys. You now have a provisional license that you got licensed in 2019. Since 2019, when you got that provision, am I correct with 2019?
We got our provisional in 2021.
Oh, excuse me.
No, you're all good. We had our special permit to operate back in 2019, and that's when we were met with an appeal from the neighboring community of Saugus, where they decided to sue Mass Green Retail in the city of Lynn on the permit for special permit. They claimed that a very small corner of the building was in their community in some of the parking lot. The building, as my lawyer, Sam Vitale, who's a fantastic attorney.
Shout out Sam Vitale.
Oh yeah, please, he's the man. He's the man. We always used to say, self-help. If that corner of the building that's okay. Then we'll hand demo it. We're still moving forward, right? So comes to find out, the building, the corner really wasn't an issue, but due to them being in a butter and directly, the next town over, and us being the last building in Lynn on the Boston Street, Lynn going into Saugus, they had a right to an appeal. As far as was it justifiable, or was it the right thing to do or not?
Right.
We won't get into that. But what we will get into is for 2.5 years, it was a long battle and stress and aggravation, but we never gave up, and we kept on fighting through. There was a lot of different things that happened throughout it, from having signs out front on the street poles, saying "Save Saugus, no pot shop." Again, going back to the haters, the uneducated ones that we just talked about,
right.
Knowing the product and knowing what it is, referring it to dope and things like that. So it was an uphill battle. There was a lot of
negative connotations on it.
Yeah, received a lot of voicemails, phone
right.
calls. But I must say though, the amount of support within the state and with the local level and state level was just tremendous.
Right.
That it was just outpoured. The amount of little hate that we got. But everything I said from day one was we weren't going to give up. When we were told pretty much to pack up and go find another spot because it was too close and they didn't want it near their community because they didn't want cannabis in their community, we just worked a little harder to make sure that we, at the end of the day, the results were going to be we were going to open. And I'm proud to say that, it's been a lot longer than we expected, but you can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel, where we've received our, provisional license, and which is huge. That's really huge. And construction is completely underway, and we're looking at about end of summer to really be opening it up. Wow, that summer Boston
end of
really
summer,
just came out.
The end of summer 2022. You already know Mass Green Retail is coming to Lynn, guys. Be on the lookout. And it's crazy when you started Mass Green Retail, when you had the initial thought of it, when you opened it. Did you ever expect that it would have rolled into such a I want to say it's a legal battle. I feel like if you look back, in 20 years, when we look back at the foundation and starting of dispensaries and cannabis in Lynn, I feel like you're going to be a story within that history line because it was pretty traumatic to say the least. Yeah,
it was it was an awful and terrible situation. But staying positive and keeping that on track. But did I ever think that we were going to run into much this hurdle and this much? Absolutely not. I did it successful already in 2 other communities with a different group. And, then I,
That were already in Lynn, correct?
The first one. The first one. So Apotheca up on the Linway.
Correct,
we were very instrumental. I was very instrumental in getting that one open and licensed and approved. And we didn't have that obstacle or as many headaches, I guess, as this one.
Right.
So no, I didn't expect this to be of any issue, considering, again, that we've done 2 or 3 smooth ones, of course, hiccups here and there, learning curves. But then also, I've consulted for many other cannabis companies in state and out of state. And I'll tell you, this one was the most difficult. And of course, it's fully mine. But you know what? We always learn, and we continue to learn.
Facts.
And no, honestly, I did not think that it was going to be a 4.5-year project.
Right.
But you know what? We're getting open, and that's all that matters. And we're gonna have some fire, bud.
Definitely. It's going to be a beautiful space. I'm so excited to check it out. I can't wait to share it with you all. But I think what I really want to highlight about Jordan's story and what is the most important when we're talking about this is the consistent motivation, is the dedication, is when an obstacle comes in your way, when you have your mind set and you're really trying to do something, you can't fall into the negative. You know what I'm saying? You can't let the blockages that come in or the whatever obstacles that come in the way stop you. There is always a way around it, but it's how do you go about it? Do you know what I'm saying? What choices do you make? And how does your mindset perceive that? Because you could have been I'm done. I quit. This is too hard. It's blocked. Now I have to wait 2.5 years. You had all these plans set. But there's always another way. And it's anyone listening in who's trying to start a business themselves, whether it be a dispensary, whether it be anything, videography, photography, you're a musician, you're a writer, we all are going to face those obstacles. There's no way around it. You know what I'm saying? And it's as me starting my podcast, the amount of obstacles I've gone through to be where we are today, sitting here talking on the set, nobody would know. It's all those details that lead up, and it builds your character, and it makes you an example for the community. You know what I mean? Like, we can only change the perception by being an example, by showing you can try to sue me and take away my business and take away my pride and joy and my idea and my livelihood, but I'm still going to be there afterwards, you know?
Yep.
And that's really what you did.
And thank you. Honestly, thank you. Thank you. You know, like I said, a lot of tremendous support.
Yes.
You know, I couldn't have done it without my family. You know, most importantly, my mom. You know, really being
Shout
there.
Shout out the moms out there. Shout out moms.
You know, a lot of my close family. You know, the Sevenors and the Lou Markakis and Sam Vitale. The many lawyers, and of course the city of Lynn. You know, entirely. The residents, to the city council, and to just the city hall folks who really also really worked hard to keep pushing on this and to really not let this stop us. And like I said, we didn't let it stop us, and we got our license now, and we're going to open, and we're going to continue to open. We're going to continue to do great things and change our community and really educate those that are still, not so much educated or want to hate on it to educate, because I think education is important.
Definitely.
But yeah, look, we're happy. I'm pumped. Honestly, I just can't wait at this point.
Yes.
It's been a long, long time.
Right.
It's been a great thing for me in cannabis.
Yep.
Since I've started in it now about 7-8 years ago, I started a tremendous weight program and weight loss. And lost 180 pounds. So it's been, I was a big boy. I was pushing 420, 425. How funny, right? 420, right?
Right on track. It was meant to be.
So, started running and really getting my head together, and it really helped stay focused. And like you mentioned earlier, you can't give up, and you just got to get over those obstacles. And some of those obstacles were very stressful, but getting out and running in the great city of Lynn, where we have a beautiful beach, and water, that really did it. Water and that sun, that's my energy anyway. So it really, really helped. And since I've been in this business, and it's been tremendous. The people are great. Our employees, they want to work. They come to work happy, and they get to go home at the end of the day, maybe with some product at a discounted rate. So it's amazing. It's really amazing.
Yeah, and that's such an inspiring story as well, because so many people, they'll be so into a business or so into their lifestyle that they forget about their health and they forget about their wellness. But what we, neglect is that our health and wellness, our mental health and physical health, affect how we interact, how we do business, how we create, how we present ourselves. You know what I mean? You have to care about who you are. And it doesn't mean lose weight to look good. It means lose weight or be healthy because it helps your mind.
Yeah, for sure. Just being happy.
Being happy, staying in a positive mindset, because we're in a world of negativity, and it's like so easy to get brought down. That's why it's amazing to talk to you, because you were put in a situation where many other people would be put in the same situation and react completely differently. They would break down. They wouldn't be able to mentally comprehend that enough to push forward. It's having that perseverance. It's the only way that we can get to our dreams. You feel me?
It is, and that's exactly what I did. And that's exactly what I encourage everybody else to do. I talk to people all the time. I get DMs all the time on social media. Hey, how'd you do it? Or whatever. And I always say to them, never give up. Keep focusing on what you need to focus on. And then you're going to hit those obstacle courses. I always say life's a roller coaster ride. It's going to go up. It's going to go down.
And I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry to cut you off.
You're good.
But even though you had support from people around you, your mom, your family, your business partners, lawyers, etc., were they the ones that pushed you to be healthy or to keep going or to start the business? Was that other people, or did that come from within? Did you push yourself?
Yeah, so I would love to give the credit, because I always say, I was always taught, give credit when credit's due.
Facts.
But I'm going to have to give the credit to myself on this one.
Hey, please do. I was hoping you would.
I just started walking. Next thing you know, I started picking up the speed, a little faster and faster, like turtle like the hare, and next thing you know, it
not
started.
Easy at first.
No, it's not.
No matter when you're getting back into working out or whatever, or even eating healthy or just changing a habit.
Yeah, it's not. And then next thing you know is 1 mile, 2 miles, 6 miles, 8 miles. wait, if it's 95-degree day, maybe that's a 9-mile day, because I just started really enjoying it.
Yes,
it was really, it's therapy. And for me, there's nothing better than, natural therapy, walking
Facts.
along the water, running down the water, and really starting to eat healthier, and feeling that energy. And it was just totally, that all like really played a huge factor, and also Mass Green Retail, and keeping that positive energy and keeping these doors going and keeping the operation going to be able to where we are today, where we're going to open in a few months. So that really played a huge role. So, dieting and all that. Listen, for those at home that, you don't think that's possible, I'm telling you it's possible. Like I said, I was in a 54 waist, and I'll never go back. Might be up a little COVID now, but we're ready to work it out and enjoy the summer. So we're ready.
Fire.
We're summer ready out here. You already heard. You already know. We're killing it. Hey, summer ready. Y'all gonna see us in Miami.
I just got back.
You just got back?
Just got
Oh,
back.
jealous.
Yes.
You're right. You don't have a tan. You didn't
I know.
Get that
See, I
tan.
told you.
Damn.
I told you. I lost
happens.
it. I lost it.
You know.
It was.
As long as you had fun.
I did. I got a little one.
He's like a little bit.
A little left. Yeah, man. We went down to. Was on a cruise for 7 days. Went down to the islands, St. Thomas, St. Martin, Bahamas.
Yep.
And then Miami Music Week, which is always fun.
Hey,
and Ultra,
that's lit.
It was a good time.
Nice.
It was a good time.
Work hard, play hard. You feel me?
Hey, exactly.
Follow your passions, but also remember to, take care of yourself. Do the things you enjoy. Have those healthy lifestyles. And like Jordan said, anybody can do it. If you're listening to this and you're like, but I had this, but I had that, but that's an excuse. That's an excuse, and that's an excuse. I make them for myself. I'm sure Jordan's made them for himself. But you have to push the excuses aside and be like, all right, but what can I do about this? What's the solution? We all have one. Jordan had to go through a huge obstacle where he had to find a major solution when going through, after the provisional license and the construction of Mass Green Retail, and everything was on the up and up. We thought it was, going to be opening a couple years ago, etc. And then when the town of Saugus sued Lynn and Mass Green Retail, there was also other consequences that followed with that. Unfortunately, they were anti-Semitic, they were racist, I would say prejudice, and destructive of property. And Jordan had to deal with that and come out on the other side, which is the biggest part of this story. So Jordan, I kind of want to let you, tell what you went through with that and how that actually occurred at the dispensary.
Yeah, so at our location on Boston Street, shortly after the appeal process, and again, signs being hung up, Save Saugus, no pot shop. Sometime back in, I don't know the date on top of my head, but either way, I received a phone call from my partner who was there bringing in a subcontractor that someone broke in overnight. Overnight. I says, "What do you mean?" He says, "Well, you in the area?" I says, "Not really, but I can be." So I drove down there. I met with him. Obviously the Lynn police and things like that were there. Taking down some of the evidence that they hung up, and taking photos and trying to get fingerprints and everything like that. But it was a very sad day in Lynn, and not just with me or my family or anything like that. It was just a sad day in the world to see that the amount of hate.
That hate crimes can still be implemented in our communities.
It was awful. Walking into that place and seeing a noose hanging, with a chair below it.
You said a noose?
A noose with
Wow.
with a big knife going through it, and just the amount of trash thrown everywhere, the graffiti with
Slurs.
such slurs and anti-Semitic, words, and it was just an awful experience. But it happens every day. Not maybe in Lynn, but it happens every day in this world.
Right.
And this one hit home, obviously close. But this is why I continue to work hard every day to stay positive and see the green light and keep moving, and also giving back to the community and working with, and being on the youth boards and things like that, and Salvation Army and all that, because really, trying to redirect that energy, and keeping those stay away from, things like that, and really working to better our community. Because, like I said, that was not just a sad day or awful day for me. That's an awful day for the United States, because that should not be happening. And it was totally uncalled for. And it was. But again, the amount of support that we received across the world. I had emails, phone calls, text messages, tweets. Even at the time, Elizabeth Warren was running for. She was a president candidate at the time. She picked it up and tweeted it. Our great.
Didn't Charlie Baker as well?
The governor. Great guy. He reached out and sent a message. And the CCC, which is the Cannabis Control Commission, they condemned it and spoke on it, and a lot of the commissioners and things like that. But again, it was an awful experience. Nothing that I want to ever go through again, or no one should have to experience. But the hate is out there. But all we got to do is work together and really try to delete that and move forward. But again, another roadblock. Or another attempt, I should say, to roadblock us or stop us from doing what we're doing, and that's not going to happen. It's been, again, a long time, but we can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel, and we've received our license, and now it's finishing up construction, and then hiring some great local employees and a diverse staff, and really making it home and making it that local pot shop.
Hey.
That's fire.
We love a story of success on this show. It's the best. But like I said, successes don't come without struggle. And this story is just one example, like Jordan said, of the struggles that we still face in the United States for things that are legalized. The fact that we still have individuals in jail, criminalized over marijuana when we are out here opening dispensaries, when we're out here making revenue off of it, when we're out here and it's legalized in our communities, and there are still individuals who are being penalized for that. So I think that's something that we all need to be aware of and more open-minded to. And when you see individuals like Jordan who are starting businesses, show your support for local businesses. Chain dispensaries are great. It's awesome. All dispensaries are awesome. But when you see somebody who's putting their time, effort, energy, stop in, say hi, see what they're about, talk to the people at the counter, ask questions. Where did they come from? It's a Black-owned business. How did he get there? How did he start that? Maybe you can get some ideas so that whatever you're doing, it can motivate and inspire you. And I just want to shout you out again for even, pushing through that situation, because it's not easy when you're feeling like you're being pushed down by people in your community. Even though you're being raised up, there's also, the negative aspects to it. So how do we change that mindset? You know what I'm saying? And at the time, there was already 2 other, I think you said, dispensaries open in Lynn.
Yeah, one.
Yeah. Okay.
We would have been the second. We were granted the second special permit in the community. There's going to be a total of 8. But we were granted, we were number 2. So we would have been long open by now, for over a year and a half, 2 years. So we won't talk about lost revenue.
I was just going to say, let's not bring up the revenue. But when we talked on the phone, we did talk about the amount of revenue that it would bring to the city. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And that's a concept that city councils and in general need to be more open to, because it's a business front. Like it is something that can actually help and be redistributed into youth programs, into decriminalization, into just teaching, learning, education. I think education is the most important thing about the cannabis community, because without that, how do we grow it?
No, and so many people still to this day don't understand that, you can walk into a dispensary, adult use dispensary, 21 plus, just with your ID. There's still a lot of stigma on, cannabis. There's still a lot of that fear of going into a dispensary. And we want to make everybody clear that you come into Mass Green, everybody's welcome. There'll be no issues. Have your ID. and that's all you're going to need. 21 plus,
Yep.
and you're more than welcome.
I'm sure we'll be super welcoming, chill vibes if it's anything like how you are. So
of course.
and
We'll have to do some podcast. We'll have to do a podcast or something.
Oh, we're
yeah.
gonna do an in-dispensary
Yes,
podcast.
live too.
Ooh, live.
Right. When the strain comes out. The A strain.
A strain. Maybe we'll have to do a test taste video separately off location. And with, if you can say, I don't know how much you'd be able to say about this, but when the dispensary does open and the people are coming in, what can they kind of expect to see for products? What are you going to have on your shelves? What are you going to be offering to the community for cannabis?
Yeah, you name it. We'll have.
Name it. He's got it. You heard it here.
Yeah, and if we don't got it, we're going to get it.
He's going to get it.
But everything you can name, honestly, anywhere from pre-rolls to premium, bud, which, flower,
Flowers,
concentrates, vapes, edibles, drinks, topicals. A lot of people have been asking for a lot more topicals and lotions and things like that too.
Yeah.
You'll see some ice cream in there. You'll see some, different ideas too. I can't release one of our exclusive thing we're gonna have yet, but
under wraps.
Yeah. But I promise you, it'll be fire, and I promise you'll love it. But there'll be a lot of great things. And
is it? I'm sorry to interrupt you. Is it local? Are you working with any local companies' products? Is it your own products, or Yeah.
So right now, we're focusing on local-owned wholesalers.
Okay.
And minority-owned, veteran-owned. We really want to support that group, and of course, we'll be purchasing from all different types of wholesalers. But we're putting a focus on minority-owned, local-owned, and veteran-owned.
That's awesome.
We're working right now on getting a delivery program as well going. So that should be coming out the next couple months.
Do you mean like a cannabis delivery program?
Cannabis delivery.
In Lynn?
In Lynn.
Like I could get it to my house?
You can get it to your house.
Whoa. This is game changing for me. Stop it. So what is that? I'm not like I don't know about the legal aspects of stuff. So like provisional license, I get that. Does the delivery also require a different license?
It does. It does require an additional license that we are in the process of obtaining, which will be a much smoother and faster process.
Yes.
But we're working on that now, and we should start to see that in the next few months. A lot more. We'll be revealing the name and things of that. We're also working. I've partnered up with another partner in something different, and we're going to be one of the first kosherable edible lines up in the Boston Northeast area.
That's
so for those that are kosher, we're going to have some fire kosher edibles.
Yeah.
And for those that are not kosher, I always like to say Oreos are kosher. So, so that's kind of cool, tapping a different market, and also giving back, to that community, and being able to provide them with a safe, and kosher edible.
And speaking of minority communities, are you also involved in the Jewish community as well? And how has your support been from that community with this? Everything going on.
Yeah, like I said, everybody, from
he's got the love.
It was a tremendous amount of support.
Yeah.
The Jewish community alone. Again, emails, phone calls. I think I've returned everybody's in emails.
Because in my head, I wouldn't expect that. I would expect the Jewish community to be against it, and I know that's judgmental of me, but that's the like what we need to change. Like I would think, they would be not for you opening a dispensary. You know what I'm saying? I know that's weird, but times have changed, I guess.
I would say that, again, education and
Facts.
Knowing that what a plant is and knowing what marijuana is. We have many and plenty of rabbis that grow. We have it's a religion with another community that doesn't disown it. Again, I think everybody in every religion or any creed you are, they're gonna, either partake or not take. but all I ask is don't hate. And educate. Of course you have your feelings, you have your opinion, but just don't hate, because again, it's a great thing. It's a great thing, and it helps a lot of people.
Facts.
And that's what I love most, helping people. So this is another way of helping people and giving them a safe alternative and a safe lab tested quality, improved product, and not buying it from the black market and taking the risk of it being laced or anything like that, which is going around, or edibles. Folks home making edibles, but not really not knowing how to dose it correctly.
Right.
With the amount of THC in it, and just the safe kitchen practices. So by being able to now come into a dispensary, yes, you got to pay tax. I think that we need to start talking to the elected officials and at the state house, because we surpassed alcohol sales tax in 2 years.
Yeah.
It is highly taxed. But anything I can do, and and other owners we're working to make it and try to keep it as affordable as possible.
Yeah.
To be able to make sure that those that are consuming are definitely getting a safe, lab tested, approved, and top quality product.
Right. And that's what you can expect, guys. If you go to Mass Green Retail, you make sure and you will know that everything is tested, everything is safe, everything has been researched and educated. And now you can see the CEO and founder behind it, to know that you are in good hands when you go there and get your products. And Jordan, before we sign off on the show, I do have a question that I ask all my guests for you. Don't know if you've heard it or not, so might catch you off guard. Ooh, he's nervous. Look at
here
that
we
face.
go.
Can we get a close-up on his nervous
here we go.
So there's different types of people in this world. There's people who, they go with the grain, they work the 9 to 5, they do their own thing. There's people who start businesses, who have dreams, who, push through struggle, whatever environment that they're grown in, and they want to create something else and give something else to this world or the community. And I guess for me, it's this podcast, and for you, it's Mass Green Retail. So, from yourself, everything you've been through, the volunteering you've done, the stuff with the dispensary, everything. What does it mean to you to be an old soul in a young world?
It means a lot, honestly. Like I said, grew up, born and raised in the city of Lynn. Never thought that this day, where today, would have came. But it means a lot. I love it. I enjoy it. Anybody that wants to get on this wave, get on it. Anybody can. You're doing great things. I was looking back at your old podcast when you were starting like your bedroom or in a spare room, and now look at where you are. Right.
Thank you.
Really staying focused, and it does mean a lot to me, and I really enjoy it. I talk to people all the time and every day about what I do, and I get questions all the time, and I always say, never give up, wake up, look yourself in the mirror, brush your teeth, look at it, smile, say you're cute, right? Say, hey, you're gonna have a great day, and go out there and crush it. Because like I said, life is a roller coaster ride. It does go up and down, but as long as you stay focused, and you can do it. And if I can be any help, please reach out, email me, contact me if you have questions. We're here to help. Again, thank you so much for having us on and letting us talk. And you keep killing it. You're doing amazing work. It was an honor, a privilege to have you invite me on. And in anything you need or anything else, I'm always here to help. So I appreciate it.
We appreciate you, Mass Green Retail. Everything that you're doing, Jordan, for the community is admirable. Being an entrepreneur, being minority owned, going through the struggles you've gone through, coming out on the other side, still being willing to be a good person and involved in the community, like that takes a certain mindset. And I hope everyone listening in, like you take this story, however, whatever you're going through, the struggles in your life, the businesses you're trying to create. If you're thinking about starting something and you keep doubting doubting it and pushing it aside, today is the day. Whenever you're listening to this, the time is now. Day, night, lunchtime, breakfast, whatever. Whenever you hear this, this is your calling. This is your time. This is your message. Get up and do it. Me and Jordan, you know, like he said, you wake up every day and you have to work when you don't want to work. I tell myself that. My friends, my producers tell me that it takes a village and it takes people to push and support you, but only you can push yourself to the end of it. So Jordan, can you just let people know where they can find you on social media if they want to contact you, reach out to you, any questions, and the address, if you could put that in.
Yeah, sure. So the dispensary address is 829 Boston Street in Lynn. Again, it's right on that Lynn Saugus line. It's the old O'Brien's restaurant. We actually have another component going in there as well. We have a pizza shop and bar, which is going to be dope. Yeah. So,
oh my gosh, I'm going to be there every day. Damn.
But you guys can reach out to massgreenretail.com. All the information's on there, phone number, emails. You can reach out to me directly at jordan@massgreenretail.com or info@massgreenretail.com. We will be hiring in the next few months, so we'll be looking for applicants. So please send your resumes to the email. We'll review them. And again, thanks so much for having us.
Yes.
It's been real. But we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram at massgreenretail, Facebook at massgreenretail, hope to see you soon. And again, thanks so much for having us.
Yes.
Really appreciate
Everyone, you guys heard it here first. Mass Green Retail is coming soon. You don't want to miss it. Make sure you check them out. Lynn, Massachusetts. Follow them on all platforms. And make sure you support Jordan Avery because he's doing amazing things for the community. You guys can catch me here again next week on Old Soul in the Young World with your host, Jesse Ellie.
Hey!
That was lit.
That was good.